You'd think it would be a very easy question for anybody to answer right now in Kansas politics. Hey, what do you think about a Major League Baseball stadium being at 119th and Null? Do you like the idea or not? And none of them can answer it. Overland Park officials won't answer it. Johnson County officials won't answer it. State officials, senators, members of the House, people who are on the LLC, this group that has to approve a potential star bond district for the Royals or the Chiefs, they can't answer the simplest of questions right now because they don't want to. And because I believe deep down they know it's not popular with the people. And they're trying to figure out a way to absolve themselves from having to have any responsibility and answer the question that people want to know. It's not a difficult question. Do you think Major League Baseball works at 119th and Null? And as we head down the home stretch of this whole thing, there's an LLC meeting coming up on Monday. Nobody knows what they're going to discuss. Nobody knows what's on the agenda. According to Fox 4 last night, they won't know what's on the agenda until Monday morning. We are up against the deadline here of when the state of Kansas said, if either of you two teams, the Chiefs or the Royals, want to come to Kansas, we've got to know by the end of the year. They're meeting on Monday. It could be about one team. It could be about two teams. Who knows at this point? But Jonathan Ketz was in Topeka yesterday for Fox 4, did a very good job talking about this and highlighting this. And he talked to multiple members on this LLC board, including Chris Croft, who is a state rep right here in Johnson County. And he talked to other folks as well. Here's what it sounded like.
House Majority Leader Chris Croft says the agenda for Monday's meeting probably won't be released until Monday morning.
You don't know how you're going to vote on the Royals.
Well, I haven't seen the deal. I mean, clearly the concerns that I've heard from the citizens doesn't lead you to believe it's a good deal, right? Like there's going to have to be some serious questions answered getting into there.
Croft.
Okay, well, I haven't seen the deal. But what you hear from the residents would suggest, says Chris Croft, rightfully so, that they don't think it's a good deal. So what could change the equation? That would be my follow-up question. What would change the equation where suddenly you think it's a good deal? Is it making Null and Row like 7 lanes each way? Like what magically changes it to suddenly being a good deal? Because this isn't about how you draw the star bond district. That's not what anyone's talking about right now. It's not whether or not you can draw a star bond district that allows you to make the revenues to pay off the bonds on the stadium. That's not really what anyone's talking about right now. That's a separate conversation. Do you think that Major League Baseball belongs at 119th and Null based on what you have heard and the feedback you have received from citizens in the area? That's the billion-dollar question here, the $2 billion question here. That's it. And the fact that you can't get an answer out of people on this right now, I mean, to me, it's infuriating. Because it's like they know that people don't want it, but I don't know if it's political ego. I don't know if it's, developer donations. I don't know what it is that is driving them to this weird place of, well, I just got to kind of ride the fence here until I see the deal. What could be in the deal that would make you say this is awesome? That's what no one is answering right now. I mean, it's the same thing. Kurt Skoog, the Overland Park mayor, he just says baseball would be great in Overland Park, and that's kind of all you get.
Said the same thing about the Chiefs. House Minority Leader Brandon Woodard says if the Department of Commerce has struck a deal with the Chiefs or the Royals, those details will come out on Monday. He approved of star bonds being used to attract the teams to try to keep them in the region.
I took that vote because we watched Missouri fail to pass it in Jackson County and renew the sales tax. We saw their legislature fail to pass a solution to keep them there. And it took them over a year past the time that we came up with a solution for the teams to come up with their own response. So now the competitive part of me absolutely wants them in Kansas.
Woodard also...
The competitive part of me. Boy, how generous. He's competing with our taxpayer money. What a guy, right? I mean, that's just...
Such a nice man.
Wow. It must be nice to be competitive with someone else's money, isn't it? It must be nice to put your political ego on the line with somebody else's hard-earned dollars. No, I know. Taxes don't go up, but trust me, here's what's going to happen, right? And this is something I highlighted yesterday. I won't go back into this, but something I highlighted yesterday is that if they go to 119th and Knoll and they draw a star bond district that includes Overland Park and parts of Leawood, let's say, you've got obviously a robust commercial district there already. Naturally, revenues in that part of town are already going to go up because inflation increases, which means the sales tax revenue in that part of town is going to go up anyway, not necessarily just because of a baseball stadium being there. And suddenly all that added revenue is now, instead of going to the cities, instead of going to the schools, is going to go to pay off the baseball stadium. So that's money now that the city is not going to capture, while also they're investing in roads and all these things they're going to have to figure out to make sure that you've got the ingress and the egress that you need there to begin with. So if they have to make up that money somewhere, they'll raise property taxes if they have to. They'll figure out new ways to capture that revenue that they would have otherwise captured no matter what. And now I got to hear politicians being like, well, my competitive juices are flowing. Yeah, great. With our money. That must be nice. You got to be kidding me. I mean, do they even realize what they sound like when they say this stuff? It's so out of touch.
Said he's generally supportive of a Royals baseball stadium in his state. Senate Minority Leader Dinah Sykes says she doesn't know how she's going to vote on the Royals or the Chiefs if they're on Monday's agenda.
Is this a nerve-wracking vote for you on Monday?
Absolutely.
Tell me why.
I think every vote that you make, you're going to make some people happy and some people unhappy. But this one with just the community getting really involved with the J and with T-Mobile, like these are all factors that we have to take into.
Another politician right there who's showing no backbone. Yeah, I'm nervous. I don't know. I'm nervous. You're nervous because deep down you know that if one of these two teams comes to you and says, we want to be in Kansas, you're not going to say no, even though you know it's the wrong thing for the community. That's why she's nervous. And they all know this. Every single one of them. It's not a Republican-Democrat thing. It's not. I mean, there are Republicans who are quoted there. There were Democrats who were quoted there. It's not an R versus a D thing. It's a political class versus the regular class. That's what this is about. Do they want to actually listen to the people or not? Do they have any interest in caring what the people think or not? That's the question. That's the $2 billion question that is floating out there. And when I heard these clips from Jonathan Ketz on Fox 4, I was like, you know what? You've got to be kidding me with this. And something else I will share with you here that I have on good authority is that there was an approach from the Royals, and I confirmed this last night, to Black and Veatch about a land swap deal where basically the Royals said, hey, Black and Veatch, can we take your location there in Overland Park? And, you know, we've got this land that some of our key power players have ownership in at 119th and Knoll. You go over there, we'll take your spot. And from what I heard from my sources, Black and Veatch had absolutely no interest in doing that. None whatsoever. So that thing was shot down real fast. They were like, nope, we're good. No interest. Because remember, Black and Veatch, I mean, they've got their whole new campus lined up. Overland Park gave them the, you know, whatever they wanted on that deal. And they've got everything taken care of. So they had no interest in that swap. But it does go to show you that the Royals are still, or were still, trying to tinker around with the idea of where else could we possibly go, which tells me maybe there is no end in sight to this whole thing. Who the heck knows?